everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with another travel vlog. This is week 2 from our New Zealand trip. If you want to see what we got up to in week 1, I'm posting the links down below and I'll maybe create a playlist as well. If you do enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and do subscribe because I would love you to join me on this journey of showing you what I got up to, really. Also, do comment down below if you've been to any of these places or you want to go. So this is basically what we got up to between Whangeri and Taupo. After the great camera incident at the 90 Mile Beach, if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my last travel vlog video of New Zealand week 1. We actually went to Whangeri twice. We did a big loop round and so the last time we were in Whangeri was in my last video. So after the great camera incident, as I said, we headed back down to Whangeri from Cape Reinga because we loved Whangeri so much. It was one of our favourite places in New Zealand, North and South Island. That's saying something. And we did want to stay with our first Airbnb host, who was so unbelievably amazingly nice. And unfortunately she was booked up, which isn't surprising because she's very popular. Our first Airbnb host actually told us about Mount Mania and we didn't get around to doing it when we were first in Whangeri, so we were like, right, we're going to do it this time. It's about an hour climb to the very top, but one of the amazing things about Mount Mania is that there is a spectacular viewpoint off the path. The view from the very top is beautiful, but this viewpoint I'm talking about, this honestly is so much better. So about 5 minutes from the top, you take a little detour off to the right. You've come on like a wooden plank kind of board, and actually on the board is written like an arrow and says to the viewpoint, and on your right there is a massive tree, fallen tree, and you go through there and you come out on this little ledge and the view is ridiculous. You see from the sea, mountains, beach, and all the way into Whangeri. It's just unbelievable. 180 degree from sea to town. It's incredible. After doing Whangeri, we headed down south and we stayed just south of Auckland because we didn't want to stay right in town like we had last time because we had done all the things we wanted to do in Auckland. We continued south and we stopped at the Hunua Falls. I'm sorry if I get any of these names wrong, I am really trying to remember how they're pronounced. The Hunua Falls are very peaceful and they actually had some very friendly ducks there, so if you're a duck fan, Hunua Falls is for you. Then comes Hobbiton, one of the things that I was most excited about throughout the whole trip. You know, shameless Lord of the Rings and Hobbit fan right here. Just before Hobbiton we had gone into town and I had bought myself the Canon 750D, which is what I'm filming on now, which is very exciting because it's got a viewfinder and I've never had a viewfinder before. So again, sorry if I have shifty eyes. So when I was walking around Hobbiton I was obviously testing the new camera out, so some of the footage is a little juddery, so I do apologise. You basically go around in a tour group and you have quite a structured tour with your tour guide, so you do only get a small amount of time in each area, as obviously it's a timed tour as well. The surprising thing, which I still can't believe, is how many people in our tour group and just generally who went to Hobbiton and have never ever seen either Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. And it's just like, why are you paying 50 quid to go to somewhere where you're not gonna get excited or understand what's going on? Like, it was really bizarre. But apparently that is quite common. I think it's because Hobbiton is a really raved about place, so people say, well, you know what, I'll go, even if they haven't seen the films. The amazing thing about the Hobbiton set is the farmer who owned the land and the fields where they filmed on, after the last Hobbit film, he decided to preserve Hobbiton, so he was able to open to the public. A really cool fact that we learned on one of the little videos we were shown is that Peter Jackson wants to retire and actually live in Hobbiton, which I think is amazing. So the one thing I will say is that the Hobbit holes is just Hobbit holes. There's nothing inside. There are places, I believe in Wellington, where you can actually go inside the set of inside a Hobbit hole. But these ones are just kind of the outside set. One of the amazing things that we noticed is that, one, they really put a lot of care and attention into the gardens. So A lot of the plants and stuff are fake, but they do have a lot of plants that are real and they take a good care of them. And it just looks amazing. It just looks like a perfect garden. And also, which is really cool, the detail in the set is ridiculous. Like, you can go past the letterbox and there'll be like really faded little drawing. And it's just amazing. And like the fake food that's out and the washing lines, the fake trees, which is really, really funny, that we learnt about. Even the Green Dragon pub, yes, they have the Green Dragon pub there, actually sells beer and cider, which is amazing. You do get a free cup when you go, but yeah, you can actually go and have a drink at the Green Dragon pub, which is a pretty cool experience. After we left Hobbiton, we went down to the Okere Falls. I think I said that wrong. One little fact which is really cool about these waterfalls is that people sometimes kayak down them. There were a couple of kayakers, but I didn't really get to catch any of them on film. But basically some of the waterfalls are quite small and narrow, so apparently it's a really cool thing to go and watch. I have to say these weren't as impressive as the Huka Falls, but there are a lot of pathways and walkways to explore, so you can spend a good amount of time there, and a bit more than Huka Falls actually. So if you like walking, then that's a really good place to go. We then arrived in Rotorua. Definitely said that wrong. Just need to say one thing about Rotorua. Absolutely stinks of sulphur. Even when you're walking around the town, stinks of sulphur. So, but you do get used to it if that's anything to go by. One major highlight is the Redwoods in Rotorua. These are amazing. They are these huge red bark trees that go so high. They're just huge giants. There's loads of walks you can go around the Redwoods that can take 30 minutes up to about 3 or 4 hours. So if you really want to go on a good hike, that's another good place. Or if you just want to do a little short trail, that's another option as well. The one thing I kind of noticed about the trees is that they're almost like a cross between alpine and rainforest. So you had almost the alpine look to the trees, but it was very humid. So it was a bit like a rainforest, and you had some like swamps in there as well. So that's a strange way to describe it, but that's what it was like. Then we went to Kerosene Creek, which is really good fun. It's basically a hot water stream which you can swim in, bathe in. You can't really swim in it. It is extremely hot though. It's hotter than bath water, let's say that. So we can only really stay in it for about 15-20 minutes. But it's very, very cool. It's definitely worth going to. Just remember to pack your bikini or your swimming shorts and just go for a dip. It's really good fun. Then we stopped off at the Blue and Green Lake. We didn't really get to explore a lot of it because of time. The best way to see them is in real life, because you really do appreciate the colour difference. Basically, as you drive past them, there is a little kind of car park area which you can go in, and a little viewpoint. And if you look one way, you can see one lake and one way the other. And you can really see the difference between the Blue Lake and the Green Lake. Then we went to Wai-o-tapa, and this is basically one of the best places to see the sulphur craters and the springs and the geysers and things like that. Geysers? Geysers? Geysers. Geysers, Georgie, it's geysers, you know this. Yeah, this place especially smells like rotten eggs. It's the centre of rotten egg sulphur smell. So, you know, be prepared for that. But if you've been in Rotorua for a while, then you're used to it. This has the famous blue and orange lake. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and have a little look. Basically, I think you have, if I'm trying to remember rightly, the bright orange around the outside, and then it goes to like a deep blue on the kind of the middle of the little pool. I did try to get some snapshots of it, but the steam coming up, I don't know how people get shots of it. It's crazy. You just can't really see it properly, which is a shame. Then as we were driving along, we discovered this little campsite, which is also has a volcanic valley in it as well. And it had a huge assortment of different animals. You had llamas, you had pheasants, you had chickens, sheep. It was just the most bizarre place we've ever seen. It was like out of like some like fantasy dream. It was really strange. The really funny bit was when Chris went up to an alpaca and thought it would be friendly. I'm going to put that little clip in for your entertainment now.
Go for it.
Hello, how are you doing?
I got that on film.
Then we went to the Huka Falls. As I said previously, they are pretty awesome. It is just as blue in real life as you see in pictures and videos. It's just ridiculous. So the best place to go is to go to the Aratia Dam. And basically you see the dam gates open, and this is kind of near the top of the falls. And basically this happens a couple of times a day, and when we came we got there just as they were starting to open the gates, so we literally ran over to the side to watch, and it is pretty spectacular. So I'm glad we got to see that. You can then walk a little way down to a better viewpoint and you can kind of see the Huka Falls, or you can drive down to it as well, it's up to you. And you can see the famous shot of the Huka Falls coming through like the green foliage on either side. Last but not least, we stopped by the Craters of the Moon. This is a really cool place. We managed to get there about an hour before closing time, which is a perfect amount of time to go round. This was actually just around the corner from where we were staying, which was quite lucky. As you can tell by the name of the place, it is literally like the surface of the moon, because you have these massive craters all around and you've got just steam coming out of it, and it's quite eerie. And it was especially quiet that day as well, like there was only us and another group there. So there we go, that is what we got up to week 2 of our New Zealand trip. I do hope you've enjoyed this. Again, please remember to comment down below if you've been to any of these places, or if you have any questions about my travels. Do subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!